Sweating through the World Cup? These 11 deodorants are making it worse. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is being played across the United States right now. Packed stadiums, summer heat, millions of people sweating through the most watched sporting event on the planet. Every one of them reached for a deodorant this morning. Most grabbed one of the brands on this list without a second thought. That is the problem. I'm Jay. I went through FDA adverse event reports, EWG toxicity data, peer-reviewed dermatology research, and real consumer lawsuits to build this. 11 deodorants lying on their labels, and 4 that are actually telling the truth. Stay until the end because the #1 worst offender is one of the most trusted names in American bathrooms. The deodorants lying on the label. Number 11, Axe Body Spray, Deodorant. Axe has spent 20 years selling teenage boys the idea that a single spray changes everything. What it actually delivers is one of the heaviest synthetic fragrance loads on the US market, 40 to 60 scent chemicals hidden under one word, fragrance. The EWG rates most Axe products between 5 and 7 on their hazard scale. That fragrance mix commonly contains phthalates the CDC measured in over 90% of Americans tested and linked to hormone disruption. The aluminum and antiperspirant variants block sweat glands through a mechanism the European Commission has repeatedly flagged for long-term safety review. Cons: 40 to 60 fragrance chemicals hidden under one label word. EWG hazard score 5 to 7. Phthalates linked to hormone disruption by CDC. Aluminum compounds flagged by European Commission. 0 skin benefit ingredients in the formula. Price? Around $5. Number 10, Old Spice High Endurance. Old Spice is one of the 3 best-selling men's deodorants in America. High Endurance uses aluminum zirconium at one of the higher consumer concentrations, combined with propylene glycol, a penetration enhancer that pulls everything else deeper into skin. When those ingredients include synthetic fragrance and BHT, flagged by the EWG as a possible hormone disruptor and carcinogen, faster absorption is not a benefit. A 2023 dermatology review linked heavy aluminum use to elevated contact dermatitis in men applying immediately after shaving. Cons: high concentration aluminum zirconium compound. Propylene glycol drives deeper absorption of all ingredients. BHT flagged as possible carcinogen and hormone disruptor, linked to contact dermatitis in post-shave application. Synthetic fragrance with undisclosed composition. Price around $6. Number 9, Secret Clinical Strength. More protection means a significantly higher aluminum concentration applied daily to skin sitting directly adjacent to breast tissue and lymph nodes. A 2020 paper in eBiomedicine detected aluminum accumulation in breast tissue samples and identified underarm cosmetics as a plausible exposure route. The formula also contains cyclopentasiloxane, a silicone the EU restricted in rinse-off cosmetics over endocrine disruption concerns, still unrestricted in US leave-on products. Cons: higher aluminum concentration than standard antiperspirants. Aluminum accumulation in breast tissue flagged in 2020 research. Cyclopentasiloxane restricted in EU, unrestricted in US leave-on products. Applied daily directly adjacent to lymph nodes. Synthetic fragrance in a clinical strength formula. Price around $10. Number 8, Degree MotionSense. Degree MotionSense uses microcapsules that burst and release fragrance when you move. Activated by body heat and friction, exactly when your skin absorption rate is highest. Inside that same formula sits DMDM hydantoin, the formaldehyde-releasing preservative at the center of the 2021 Unilever class action lawsuit. Finding it in a leave-on product on thin underarm skin every day is a concern independent dermatologists raise consistently. The EWG rates several degree variants at 6 out of 10. Cons: DM hydantoin releases formaldehyde in a leave-on underarm product. Fragrance microcapsules activate at peak skin absorption. EWG hazard score of 6, part of the same Unilever lawsuit covering multiple product categories. Aluminum zirconium in a high-motion application formula. Price around $6. Number 7, Suave Antiperspirant Deodorant. Suave is in 1 out of every 2 American homes. The antiperspirant line stacks aluminum zirconium, cyclopentasiloxane, propylene glycol, synthetic fragrance, parabens, and artificial dyes into a single formula. The EWG rates 6 to 7 out of 10. A 2022 study in Environmental Health Perspectives linked daily paraben exposure through personal care products to measurable hormonal changes in both men and women. Underarm skin is thinner and more permeable than most body skin. Applying a paraben formula there daily compounds that exposure significantly. Cons: parabens in leave-on product on high-absorption underarm skin. EWG hazard score 6 to 7. Propylene glycol enhances penetration of every ingredient. Cyclopentasiloxane flagged by EU for endocrine effects. Artificial dyes with zero deodorant benefit. Price? Around $4. Number 6. Right Guard Xtreme. Right Guard Xtreme targets active men with sport performance language and sweat-blocking claims. The formula contains aluminum zirconium, a fragrance load the EWG flags as moderate to high hazard, and in older versions triclosan, the antibacterial agent the FDA banned from hand soaps in 2016. The Xtreme branding signals higher aluminum concentration and heavier fragrance, both applied to underarm skin that absorbs more readily than almost anywhere else on the body. No performance ingredient in this formula justifies the positioning. Cons. Older formulas contained triclosan, FDA banned from soaps in 2016. Sport branding conceals a standard mass market formula. Higher aluminum concentration than label implies. Heavy fragrance with no disclosed breakdown. No ingredient supports the extreme performance claims. Price? Around $5. Number 5. Mitchum Smart Solid. Mitchum is built around one claim: works so well you can skip a day. The formula uses one of the higher aluminum concentrations in the consumer category alongside propylene glycol and fragrance. The skip-a-day positioning is not a safety feature. It is an instruction to apply a high aluminum formula less frequently, which does not reduce total exposure. Mitchum scores a 6 on the EWG hazard scale. On active days, users apply more to compensate, which is exactly what that marketing quietly encourages. Cons. Among the highest aluminum concentrations in the consumer category, propylene glycol drives deeper skin penetration of the full formula. EWG hazard score of 6. Skip-a-day claim does not reduce total aluminum exposure. Fragrance load with no disclosed ingredient breakdown. Price? Around $6. Number 4. Native Deodorant. Native convinced a generation of health-conscious consumers that natural meant safe. Procter & Gamble acquired Native in 2017 for $100 million, and the formula changes that followed are worth examining. Several variants now contain baking soda at concentrations the American Academy of Dermatology flagged as a leading cause of underarm contact dermatitis, causing rashes in up to 10% of new users. Natural fragrance still hides undisclosed compounds under the fragrance loophole. The natural label is doing far more work than the formula. Cons. Baking soda triggers contact dermatitis in up to 10% of users. AAD flags baking soda deodorants as a leading cause of underarm rashes. Natural fragrance still conceals compounds under the loophole. Acquired by P&G in 2017, formula changes followed. Skin benefit ingredients below functional concentrations. Price? Around $13. Have you switched to a natural deodorant in the last 2 years and still had a skin reaction? Comment. Natural lie below. I want to see how many of us this caught out. Number 3. Tom's of Maine Long Lasting. Tom's has been the natural deodorant for health-aware consumers since the 1970s. Colgate-Palmolive acquired it in 2006, and the natural heritage has never wavered. The problem is not what Tom's avoids. The problem is what it uses instead. Propylene glycol as primary carrier. Zinc ricinoleate as the odor active. Significantly less effective than aluminum in clinical comparisons, meaning users apply more product more frequently. More applications means more daily propylene glycol exposure. The natural positioning creates a safety assumption that has not been earned. Cons. Propylene glycol as primary carrier in leave-on underarm product. Zinc ricinoleate far less effective than aluminum in clinical tests. Reduced effectiveness drives more frequent application. Natural positioning creates false safety assumption. Colgate-Palmolive ownership rarely disclosed in brand marketing. Price? Around $9. Number 2. Dove Advanced Care Antiperspirant. Dove's decades of gentle skincare marketing have extended a halo onto their antiperspirant that the formula does not earn. Dove Advanced Care contains aluminum zirconium, dimethicone, fragrance, and in several variants, D-MDM hydantoin, explicitly named in the 2021 Unilever class action. The 1/4 moisturizing claim is carried by stearic acid and glycerin at concentrations the surrounding aluminum and fragrance actively work against. A 2023 consumer skin study found Dove Antiperspirant caused underarm irritation in nearly 11% of sensitive skin users, 4 times the threshold for a product calling itself gentle. Cons. DMDM hydantoin, named in 2021 Unilever class action filings. 11% sensitive skin irritation rate. 4 times the gentle product threshold. Moisturizing claim contradicted by the surrounding formula. Dimethicone coats underarm skin and traps bacteria. Gentle reputation built on body wash. Not this formula. Price, around $8. Number 1, Secret Original Antiperspirant. Secret is the #1 selling women's antiperspirant in the United States. The formula contains aluminum zirconium, cyclopentasiloxane, propylene glycol, BHT fragrance, and DMDM hydantoin. 3 separately flagged ingredients in one leave-on product applied daily to the most absorptive skin on your body. In 2023, independent testing detected PFAS, forever chemicals, in multiple secret variants above 10 parts per billion. The EPA links PFAS to kidney disease, thyroid disruption, and elevated cancer risk. Procter & Gamble disputed the findings. The chemicals were present regardless. Cons: PFAS detected above 10 parts per billion in independent 2023 testing. DMDM hydantoin and BHT combined in single leave-on formula. Aluminum zirconium plus propylene glycol. Penetration-enhanced delivery. Applied to highest absorption skin area on the body daily. P&G disputed PFAS findings, while product remained on shelves unchanged. Price, around $7. You just read about 11 products sitting in bathrooms across America. Now here are 4 that are honest about what they are. The 4 that don't lie. Number 4, Vanicream Antiperspirant. Vanicream is the brand dermatologists recommend for reactive and sensitive skin, and their antiperspirant earns that trust for the same reason all their products do. The formula is built around what it leaves out. No fragrance, no dyes, no parabens, no propylene glycol. Aluminum zirconium at a standard 20% concentration, clearly labeled, not surrounded by penetration enhancers compounding its absorption. The National Eczema Association awarded it their seal of acceptance. If you have reacted to anything on the first list, this is where you start. Pros: 0 fragrance, dyes, parabens, or propylene glycol. National Eczema Association, seal of acceptance. Active ingredient clearly labeled without penetration enhancers. Dermatologist recommended for post-reaction recovery. Straightforward formula with no hidden marketing ingredients. Price, around $10. Number 3, Arm & Hammer Essentials. Natural deodorant, Arm & Hammer. Essentials earns its natural label. Aluminum-free, paraben-free, fragrance-free, using baking soda at a lower and better tolerated concentration than Native, combined with cornstarch to absorb moisture without blocking sweat glands. The EWG rates it 2 out of 10, one of the cleanest scores in the entire category. It does not claim to be an antiperspirant because it is not one. That honesty matters. A product that accurately describes what it does is rarer in this category than it should be. Pros: EWG, hazard score of 2, among the cleanest in the category. Aluminum-free, paraben-free, fragrance-free. Lower baking soda concentration reduces dermatitis risk. Honest labeling. Never claims to be an antiperspirant. Mass market price without mass market ingredient compromises. Price, around $5. Number 2, Necessaire. The deodorant. Necessaire uses mandelic acid and AH as to address odor at a bacterial level, lowering the underarm pH to inhibit odor-causing bacteria directly rather than masking smell or blocking glands. Clinically supported. Fragrance-free, silicone-free, clear of all EWG high concern ingredients. Niacinamide included at a functional concentration to reduce underarm irritation. A real benefit, not a label decoration. This is what honest formulation looks like. Pros: mandelic acid addresses odor bacterially, not by masking or blocking. Full ingredient list publicly disclosed with no fragrance loophole. Niacinamide at functional concentration for real skin benefit. Silicone-free, fragrance-free, EWG, high concern ingredient-free. Dermatologist recommended aluminum-free alternative. Price, around $22. Number 1, Dove 0% Aluminum Deodorant. This is not a contradiction. Dove Antiperspirant made the bad list. Their 0% aluminum deodorant earns the top spot here. And the difference between those 2 products is the most important lesson in this entire video. removing aluminum force Dove to rebuild from scratch. The result is fragrance-free, alcohol-free, paraben-free, built on glycerin and sodium stearate with no penetration enhancers anywhere. EWG rates it a 1, the safest possible score. National Eczema Association accepted it. Same brand name, completely different formula. The label on this one is telling the truth. Read it. Pros. EWG score of 1. Safest possible rating in the category. 0 aluminum, fragrance, alcohol, or parabens. National Eczema Association accepted. Glycerin-based with no penetration enhancers. Dermatologists distinguish it clearly from Dove's conventional line. Price? Around $8. You apply deodorant every morning to some of the thinnest, most absorptive skin on your body, sitting directly over lymph nodes, contacted every time you raise your arms. 11 brands on this list are exploiting that daily habit with formulas their labels are designed to obscure. 4 are not. Flip your deodorant over tonight. Read the back, not the front. The front is written by a marketing team. The back is written by a chemist. Only one of them is telling you the truth. Subscribe and hit the bell. Next video exposes the sunscreens lying about their SPF numbers. And drop a comment right now. Which brand from this list is in your bathroom today? I read every single one.